Yo, what's going on guys? Arx here. Welcome back to another Monster Hunter video and another episode of Who or What Is That Monster? With more title updates lined up for 2023 for Sunbreak, and of course now the confirmation that the games are also coming to Xbox and PlayStation, I thought it would be fun to take a look back at yet another incredible final boss monster, one of the arguably most unique designs we have ever faced to date, and that is Ahtal-Ka. Whether we see this monster return again will of course remain to be seen, but for those of you that perhaps didn't play Generations Ultimate and therefore never got to experience this weird and wonderful creature, then let's talk about it. If you guys do enjoy this video, then a like would be super appreciated, and let me know down below, what was your first experience fighting this monster, and would you like to see it return? Also, if you guys haven't done so already, don't forget we still have some of the ponchis in stock. These are our officially licensed Monster Hunter plushies that we produced, and they're available on the Endgame store. There are 4 different ones to choose from, each with removable monster ponchos, and they are super cute. But they're also limited edition, so if you want one, you need to grab them while stocks last. Link to the store is in the description box down below. But now back to the video. Ahtal-Ka is, at first, a rather unsuspecting monster. You hear it's the final boss, you rock up, and you see this weedy little praying mantis. I mean, praying manti are pretty badass, but when you've been playing Monster Hunter, then it hardly looks very imposing. But it won't be long before you realise just how wrong you are. See, Ahtal-Ka is a large insect-like monster. It somewhat resembles a devil's flower mantis in appearance, and of course the colour scheme is similar to that of the classical Egyptian pharaoh. It basically looks like an insectoid sphinx. The majority of its body is golden, it has 6 limbs, each of which are yellow with a set of purple triangles beneath them, and all 6 are legs, 4 of which are for walking, and the other 2, which are raptorial at the end of the main legs, are the sort of small feet, and the 4 legs, and these have elaborate wing-like extensions at the base and have a pair of large hooks at the end. The Ahtal-Ka has a large headpiece that has alternating gold and blue lines like those of a pharaoh's crown, and it has a pair of purple eyes, each with minuscule black pupil, much again like a mantis. Now Ahtal-Ka will compensate for his lack of physical strength with cunning by using the golden silk that it produces to bind to its back some steel beams that it throws at enemies, and even without them, it is still a pretty dangerous opponent despite its size, because it of course attacks with sharp claws, and it also produces a pheromone that reduces the hunter's defense. And early on, this is of course how you'll battle this creature, weaving in and out of its attacks, trying not to get stuff thrown at you, and truth be told, it's still a pretty awesome fight, the way that it uses the silk to perform these movements, so it's definitely no pushover. But it's what happens next that really and truly makes this monster shine. When cornered, it uses the silk to pull out of the ground the massive Empress's throne. Inside of this, which is, let's be honest, basically a giant mech, it hides and it controls it like a puppet to crush foes. In this state, it takes advantage of the physical strength of its creation, stomping its legs on the ground to generate quakes that send hunters flying, or shooting silk from the cocoon in the center of the machine to immobilize them. Its walking fortress, again the Empress's throne, is a towering war machine, crudely assembled from scrap metal, debris and ruins, and of course Ahtal-Ka's own silk. It's quadrupedal in structure, with a head vaguely reminiscent of a wyvern's and a tail tipped with metal spikes. The Ahtal-Ka's silk is visible through the gaps in the joints and armor plating, and allows the Ahtal-Ka to control the movement of its creation like a marionette. While controlling the Empress's throne, the Ahtal-Ka itself is covered in a silken cocoon hidden in the chest of the machine. However, once it's suffered enough damage, the throne will disassemble and the monster returns to fight normally. This time, however, it will also bind a Dragonator to its back, hurling it at enemies like a spear, and additionally, using the golden silk, it can also lift into the air 3 Dragonators and throw them at hunters. When enough damage has been dealt to Ahtal-Ka, it'll dig in the center of the arena and again pull out the Empress's throne once again. This time, however, it can also attack hunters on its back directly, using the machine's tail to throw them off or expelling the pheromone from a small cocoon. Once the Empress's throne is finally destroyed, Ahtal-Ka will emerge from it, having binded to its back the last piece of its remaining creation, a massive wheel, which previously it kept stuck in the machine's back. In this phase, it will also sprinkle the whole area with silk, which can of course trap hunters who step on it, and it will fight mainly using the wheel, using it to sort of quickly swing around the arena, and in addition to this, it can also pull out of the ground 3 more Dragonators and spin them around itself, dealing massive damage to hunters. Interestingly, if you fast forward to Monster Hunter Rise, it's cool to see how elements of this fight inspired the Narwa All-Mother fight, since Ahtal-Ka's attack, where it pulls out the 3 Dragonators and spins them around itself, was again used by Narwa the All-Mother during its ultimate attack. However, of course, Narwa uses 2 sets rotating opposite to each other. Overall though, it is an incredibly cool monster with some of the most unique gameplay moments in the history of the series. It really is a monster that I'd love to see return one day, but again, given how it was so uniquely tied to Generations Ultimate, it's hard to imagine it cropping up again. But who knows? Anything is possible. We've got Frontier monsters, we've had other things return. Honestly, the Monster Hunter team can do whatever they want, so let's keep our fingers crossed. But for the time being, that is pretty much it. That's a little look at Ahtal-Ka. For any of you that perhaps have not fought it, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of it. Let me know if you didn't fight it, perhaps how you sort of feel about it now you know of it. And of course, if you missed some of our recent videos, be sure to check out one of these ones and keep it locked for plenty more.